So this morning I want to talk a little bit about disbelief. In particular, I'm going to use some personal experience with spirit and with physical mediumship and explain a little bit about disbelief and then bring it back to you in your own belief or disbelief. A couple of weeks ago, many of you who know me know I'm very methodical. There are other words to describe it. Neurotic, obsessive compulsive. There are other words to describe it. I like to consider myself as methodical. And I have this magic marker that when I sit for a session, after I'm done, I will write on the CD that I've burned for the client their name, reading, and the date. And then when I'm done with that marker, it goes into my messenger bag. And if any of you have seen inside my messenger bag, which I probably would not have allowed any of you to do, you would see that it goes in a particular spot. Okay? In the side, it's got 3 little holders where you can put your pen, your pencil, and your marker. Okay? As a student in elementary school, I was the teacher's favorite because I had places for everything. Okay, so when I'm done, I stuck the marker in that spot. In that spot always. Okay, so the next day I went to work and I needed to get my marker. I went into my bag, it's not there. Exactly, I had the same reaction. Where did it go? Where did I put it? Did John go into my bag? Okay. He did. For 2 weeks to 3 weeks, I cleaned out that bag at least 3 to 4 times, trying to find my marker. It wasn't there. Last week I went into the bag and it was right where it had been, supposedly. It was back in my bag. Now, I'm the first person who wants to believe everything that happens, and I'm the first person who wants to say, wow, look what spirit did. But I'm also the first person who says, wait a minute, you have to show it to me. Now I'm going to go back and explain this experience I had at physical phenomena seance. I was at a physical phenomena seance from a medium, with a medium who is from England, who lives in Australia, who came to New York. This was last year. I was sitting in a darkened seance. He asked me, they asked me to make sure he was bound to the chair with ties, etc. I got to check everything. There was no way this man was getting out of this chair. They handed me the wire cutters. I'm giving you the abbreviated form. They handed me the wire cutters, so when the seance was over, I would hand them the cutters so they could release him from the chair. I went to put the wire cutters in my back pocket. But I thought, I'm going to be sitting for 2 to 2.5 hours. I'm not going to be sitting on a pair of wire cutters. I'll stick them in my front pocket. I'm figuring if there's any fraud or trickery in this physical phenomena seance, I will feel them pull the wire cutters from my front pocket. Seances ended. I'm again abbreviating it because it was a pretty phenomenal experience. And at the end, they asked me, Richard, could I have the wire cutters? I got up, I went to reach in my front pocket, they weren't there. A pair of metal wire cutters were not in my front pocket. I stood up, I said, I don't know where they are, and felt them in my back pocket with my button undone. Okay, now again, being methodical, it's infrequent that my back button is undone. Okay? So, that being said, my part of me says, wow, physical phenomena, spirit, can dematerialize something and rematerialize it. I know that, hands down, through all of my studies, I know that to be true. But I had my first experience with it. Do I believe it? No. Because in my mind, I said, wait a minute, I'm going to stick them back here. No, I'll put them here. So before I even began the seance, I was questioning myself, where should I put them? Now, Spirit has a sense of humor. Let's play with Richard. He doesn't know where he's going to put them. We'll show them where they end up later on. I understand that. But because I had a sense of disbelief in my own being and distrust, I can't state unequivocally that Spirit dematerialized them, because part of me thinks, no, you did put them in your back pocket. Do you understand what I'm saying? In my experience, I'm having my own internal battle about where to put them. If I had just said, I'm going to put them in my front pocket, sit my tuchus down and go through this experience, and then got up and had them in my back pocket, I would have been, a believer hands down. Now here I am with my messenger bag, and I've got this experience of this marker. Now this is my messenger bag. The CIA can only get into it, you understand? And the marker is in its place, but not for 3 weeks, and then it reappears in its place. I have to believe that Spirit did it. I have to believe it. Because nobody has access to that bag. Yeah, he does, but he wouldn't go, it's not, John's not, that's not the MO here, okay? I have to start believing. Now there's one more experience that I have to explain. My keys. So here I am in class the other night. I have my keys to teach class. I have to open doors, right? And we've got these lovely little tags. And in order to get into, as you can see, it's very easy. In order to get in and get this piece of paper out, it takes a little bit of effort, right? Yesterday, I'm getting ready to do some paperwork for church for this morning. I go into my bag, pull my keys out. Oh, you know. The little piece of paper that I just pulled out is not in the clear plastic piece. It's in the bottom of the bag. I pull out my keys. Now, how did that paper get out of this little clear plastic piece on the side of the inside the bag, and this being completely closed? Now, I'm giving you examples. I'm reading 2 books. Old book, The Case for and Against Psychical Belief, Carl Murchison. It is a symposium that took place at Clark University back in the 1927, I believe, with men and women of letters, papers, and degrees speaking for and against psychical belief. And I'm reading a book, The Researches in the Phenomena of Spiritualism by Sir Walter Crookes. William Crookes, sorry. Sir William Crookes. A fellow in the Royal Society, okay, scientist. I'm going to bring it all together now. I know what we put out, we attract to us. I'm studying physical phenomena. Spirit's going to start working with me in a way that's going to get me to believe and understand physical